Hello there and welcome to the new Tableau dashboard tutorial that I have brought for you today, which is for the customer analysis dashboard. This is slightly advanced, I would say, dashboard. As you can see, it is a bit tricky about from the perspective of the metrics that we are using, which is about the new customer churn or customer repeat purchase, customer cohort, customer order frequency and stuff like that. As you can see, all of these visualization are not very straightforward, but for every visualization you have to develop one or more calculations to get an output like this, right? So this is something which I will show you how you can create the visualization. So before I move ahead, I would just like to inform that if you are landing over here on the very first time on my dashboard, then probably you may not have seen the two, maybe not two, but I think 3 or 4 different dashboards that I have posted, which is quite a step-by-step walkthrough of the Tableau functionalities, and finally how would you create a clean layout dashboard like this, right? So what I highly recommend is you look at these two dashboards. The link is present in description about sales win-loss dashboard, right? And the logistics dashboard. There I have taken the data set where I have talked about win-loss data set is different and logistic data set is different, but it talks about the Tableau functionality as to KPI visualization and all, but a step-by-step approach of building, also building the step-by-step approach of this dashboard. So with that, that's the reason I wanted to call it out, because creating dashboard takes a lot of time and I don't want to make it a very big dashboard, since most of that functionality I have already covered in my previous dashboard. So if you have followed that, you will not find it difficult, but if you have not, I'll highly recommend that you practice it, and then this layout will be easy. However, I will explain you in a nutshell as to how you can create it. Okay, so with that, the way the thing works is the KPIs that we have at the top, then down below is the customer repeat purchase, cohort, and order frequency. A safe assumption is that over here, when we have created these KPIs, if you see, the safe assumption we have taken is the customer name as a unique name, or the customer ID, let's say if you have, is a unique ID in your data set, right? So that's, as you can see, quite straightforward. We have first of all, the data set that we are using is the sample superstore. Again, the link is present in the description through which you can get it, where you have the customer orders and you have the customer name over here. So the customer name is present over here in text. What you can do is simply bring it over the text, but you won't get a layout like this. However, what you need to do is you need to come over here on this pill, this drop down, measure count, and simply say count. You have two values, count and count distinct, right? So we are assuming that this is the unique count, and that's how the information we are counting. If it is duplicate count, let's say in your data set, if it is duplicate, then you need to use the distinct count, right? So once you do the distinct count, you will going to get a value like this, and then we have to do a little bit of formatting in text by coming over here saying customer count is Tableau bold and 18, and the color is the dark black color, right? Give one enter below to that and write in capital total customers. So this is just to indicate what this number is associated to. So it is associated to total customers that we have in our data set, right? And another thing is, from here, the view, you change from standard to entire view, and from text change it to center alignment. Okay, that way you will going to get this information in the middle of the screen. Then duplicate this, right, so that you don't have to do all of that formatting. And for this we need to create a calculated field to get the new customer information. So it's like you have 4,000 customers, but in that you have 1,514 new customer. So this is based on a calculation. So what do we need to do is we need to find out when is the first time customer has made a purchase, and based on that we basically identify the information. So over here, if you see, this is the first purchase. So so this is a calculated field. The way, if you have never created a calculated field, you need to come over here on this drop down, the icon, and you have the create calculated field, right? So once you click on create calculated field, this is the interface will come. And the way you need to configure this is, let me just show you for first purchase. In the previous screen, which was similar to this, you need to write the first purchase, and here we are using the LOD, the level of detail calculations, which is fixing the dimension at customer level. That means at customer level, when they have done the first purchase. When they have done the first purchase, that means very first time they have come, becomes the new customer. So this is the calculation that you need to follow to get LOD and to create the new customer. And this is slightly, like I said, not straightforward, slightly advanced for those who little bit have an understanding of the LOD. If you don't have, I highly recommend you look at my LOD video, which is also, I have put it in the description for you. So with that, we have the first purchase, right? And then what do we do is we create one more calculation, again a calculated field, by coming over here and clicking here. And the way we need to configure is like this. So you need to write new or existing customer. If it is a first purchase, equals to the order date, then 1, otherwise 0. So it's simply saying that we have a free field of order date, the exact date when the purchase was made. If it is equals to the purchase date, first purchase, then 1, else 0. And then we are doing nothing, we are simply taking sum. So sum will going to do the sum of ones, right? So 1 will indicate that is your new customer. So this is a configuration which is going on, as you can see, for bringing the new customer, right? After that, what we are doing is the churn customer. So churn is based on the year. So at the start of the year, if we have 1000 customer, and at the end of the year, if we have 900 customers, so what you have lost is basically 100 customer. But if you have 1000 customer, but at the end of the year you have 1025 customer, that means there are 25 customer more. So if it is a positive value, so that means churn has not really happened overall basis. But if it is like negative value, then it indicates that a churn has happened, right? So that's the way we are doing it. So the final calculation we are using is the customer churn. So this is again by coming over here and creating the calculated field, and the customer churn should be present down below over here, customer churn. And if I show you the calculation, so this is again based on two different calculation, last date of the year and first date of the year. So what we are saying is, if my order date is last date of the year, then give me all the customer names. If my order date is first date of the year, then give me customer name, and then we are subtracting it. But how we are creating the last date of the year and first date of the year? Well, for that we need to come over here. So this is the first date of the year calculation. So if I show you how the calculated field needs to be configured, is first date of the year is date trunc year order date. So what date trunc does is it gives you the first day of the year, right? So that is why I'm using this inbuilt function that gives me the first date of the year based on the order date, and order date is on the filter. So if I have selected 2018, it will give me the 1st Jan 2018, and then I can also get the last date of the year, which is over here. So last date of the year is this. So what we are doing is we are adding we are adding 1 year to the first date of the year. So if my first date of the year is 1st Jan 2018, and based on the date add function, if I am adding 1 year, so over here 1 indicates that we are adding 1 year to the 1st Jan 2018, will going to give me 1st Jan 2019, right? And if we subtract the 1, will going to give me 31st December 2018. So that is how, with the small trick, we are getting the last date of the year, right? Once we have these two calculations, we can simply come over here in customer churn and subtract one from another. So in the customer churn, we are saying that if order date is equals to last date of the year, then who are those customers? Subtract customer name, first date of the year, then customer name, right? So and before that, sorry about this, let me just expand everything. We are taking a count of this customer name and then subtracting the count which was at the first date of the year. So what we are getting is 25. That means it's a positive number. So overall churn has not happened. If it is negative, that means a churn has happened. Average purchase for each customer. Well, we are having average customer purchase over here, which is this field. This is again a calculated field, and the way you need to configure it is sum of sales divided by count of customer name, right? If we have 1000 customer, 1000 sales and 100 customer, your average will be 100, right? So similar way, whatever the sales is, you divide by the customer name, will going to give you the 233 value, assuming customer names are unique or customer IDs are unique. So based on the data set you are following, you need to take that call. Okay. Now we need to create this visualization, which is a repeat purchase, right? So repeat purchase is we are having this month of repeat purchase and then month of first purchase date. So month of first purchase, we already have seen it, right? So first purchase, right? So this is a first purchase. We have brought that field over here and selected what? Month, right? So it's giving us these values. And then repeat purchase is over here. So what it indicates that when the first purchase has happened, it take 10 months for 4 customer to do the repeat purchase. Or similarly, the first purchase was happened in November, then it took 2 months the 1 month for 15 customer to do the repeat purchase, right? So that's how we need to interpret this chart. So over here, the repeat purchase, months repeat purchase, let me just come over here. So this is a month's repeat purchase formula, which is based on date difference between first purchase and second purchase, right? And the date difference frequency is month. If we have month or quarter, if you want quarter, then you can choose the quarter, or if you want year, you can choose the year, up to us. So what it does is, it does a subtraction of 2 dates, first purchase date and second purchase date. You have already seen first purchase date, but you also need to know how would you do the calculation for second purchase, right? So this is the second purchase. If I show you the calculation, so this second calculation is based on the fixed at customer name and minimum of repeat purchase. So this is a dependent field which is present over here. So this will be the first field that we will going to create, that if order date is greater than the purchase date, first purchase, that means for a given customer, if there is another date that is present for the purchase, then give us those order date. That will be labeled as repeat purchase. This repeat purchase, then we are taking it over here and saying that fixed customer name at the customer name level give us when the first repeat purchase was made. So we have the first purchase, and when again the purchase was made based on this min condition, it basically is the second purchase. That way you can find out the third purchase, fourth purchase, so on and so forth. The process is iterative, right? So you basically get the second purchase, and then what you do is you finally create this third calculated field, which is based on date diff, based on 2 months, what is the difference between first purchase and second purchase, and bring it over here, right? And this is nothing but simply the count of customer, which is here on the color, right? And the color that we have chosen is this one. So that basically, or by default it comes, right? So that's how finally the visualization will be coming for you. So difficult. It took me close to 30 to 35 minutes to finally figure out like how would you do that. and then you can do it without much of an issue. So this is this, and then we have the number of order per customer. That means there are 509 customers who have done 5 orders. There are 544 customers who have done 6 orders. There are 680 customers who have done 7 orders. So that's how the chart is interpreted. Okay. So over here, number of orders per customer is the field we need to create to get this. Okay. So how we are creating is number of order per customer is coming over here in edit, and we are simply saying that at customer name level, give us their respective order count based on the order ID, right? So once we get this, we get this information, which basically says whether the order count is 1, order count is 2, 3, or what. So we bring it over here, number of orders, and make sure we convert it into a dimension and then discrete to get this value, right? Once we do that, this will be changed into blue from green, and then we bring the customer name, which we are using. It's already part of the data set over here, and count of customer name basically gives those customers who have made the order. So for example, over here clearly 680 customers have given the order 7 times, right? So that's the number of orders per customer is something what we are having, right? And finally, the customer cohort. Customer cohort is also an interesting visualization. What it says that in 2018, the customer that we acquired, like 400, they have done the sale of 484 247. The same number of customers in 2019 have done the shopping of 365 144, and 105 388 have come from the customer whom we have got it in 2019. So in 2019, the new customers that we have got over here have done the purchase of 99,494 in 2000. But in 2000, we have only got the 54,000 new customer, and their sales was 54,804. So that's how we need to interpret this chart, right? And the way we are doing it is simply year of order sales is over here. You have sum of sales, right? But over here on the color is the first purchase, year of first purchase, which is this, right? So I'll just expand. First purchase is the field. I have already explained you about the calculation of this field. You need to bring it over here, and if it color and convert it into a year if it is not already, and you will going to get this output. Make sure you to change it into an entire view, right? And finally, what you need to create is this dashboard. Okay, so this dashboard is, as you can see, is based on the layout where first you have the icon, which is a Tableau icon. Keep considering it as a Tableau report. So you have the customer analysis dashboard, and then the year of order date is something what we have it over here. Quite straightforward if you follow my previous videos, like I have said at the start. And then we have brought in this KPI icon and values in a horizontal fashion. So this is a horizontal container, and within horizontal we have used the vertical container for bringing this information. Then down below, this is a new chart that we are adding, right, to the entire screen because it needs its space. So what it says is the customer repeat purchase. Simply you drag it from here to here, it will going to produce the chart. And then down below you have the horizontal container, that means side by side information, which is basically saying the customer cohort over here, and the number of orders per customer over here, which is the order frequency. Then it's all about doing bit of formatting. Like if you see title, I have made sure that they are consistent and in capital, right, across everywhere. Also for each of the visualizations, for example, if I select this, the background is all white, right, and outer padding is 6 for everyone. So if you see over here, white 6, white background 6 padding. Similarly over here, if I double click, in this case this is 0, but if I double click again, select the entire container, you have the outer padding as 6, but in this case I have not chosen the background for inside containers over here, right? So this is something we basically do a bit of a setting where with the help of the background and padding, and that gives us a clean layout like this. And then finally one more thing is to the background color that we have it over here. So if you see, if I select the outer one, the outer padding is 8, the inner padding is 4 to give this layout, and the background that I have chosen is this one over here, which you will also get the same one in Tableau. So that is something I show it in my training also very much in depth as to how you can create it, dashboards like this. However, this one is also slightly, I would say, advanced level where a lot of calculation needs to be done to make sure to get an output like this. Also, this template is present in the description, so you can get this Tableau workbook as well without much of an issue. Follow the link or instructions that are given there, and you can download the this template as well. With that, thank you so much for watching. I'll meet you in the next video with a new topic.